Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of 10 Minute Marvel and happy Fantastic Four week. We hope that your week is fantastic and then that you go see the movie 4 times this weekend. Not that it helps us at all, but I was just purely going for wordplay there.
And a Marvel sponsorship of some kind.
Yes, please. Then we also have, of course, our news and rumors, which is surprisingly rumor free this week, Greg.
Uh-oh.
Everything is in the news category. And if you look at
It's
the
all real.
notes,
It's all real.
there's a lot in the news category. So
Nice.
we'll be diving into that before we kind of recap what we know about going into Fantastic Four, as well as then speculate on maybe some of the things that we don't know about for the film and speculate on those juicy post-credit scenes or something like that. But before we get into all of that, I'm Petter. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast and co-hosting, as always,
As
the
always.
man, the
Oh,
myth.
the invisible secret lover to Sue Storm. It's Greg, everybody. Thank
No
you.
more?
The more Sure. I'm cool with that. I'd be a sexy underwater man. Sure. Anyways, okay. Segue here. If you're looking for ways to support us, you can find us on our YouTube channel. Search 10 Minute Marvel, everybody. Give us a like, thumb smash that subscribe button. That's always helpful. We love it. We appreciate it. Tell your friends, of course. Find and follow us on Facebook and that other thing with an X. Hashtag 10 Minute Marvel there. And of course, you can leave a rating and review wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcast from. Petter, let's go to the news.
Yes.
What do we got?
The news, um, well, it helps with the film coming out so soon. That means Kevin Feige does interviews. Like he
He wears
always does.
hats. He wears
He
new
wears
hats.
he wears new hats and he does interviews in the week or two leading up to new movies. So we have a whole bunch of Kevin Feige quotes and pieces of news from interviews that he's done. First off, Kevin Feige says that Secret Wars is not going to be a reboot of the MCU. It's going to reset some timelines, some character kind of stories, but that Secret Wars is, well, it's about a new beginning for the MCU and kind of a new spot to build from, much like the Russos were talking about, that we've talked about previously, that it's not, though, a throw everything out prior to this. And sure, it might be the same actors going forward, but that doesn't, what happened before doesn't matter. What happened before will still matter, but some characters are going to be reset.
Interesting. It's an
Mhm.
interesting word.
Yeah.
Reset.
Yeah. Well, I think he wanted, like, we've used the word soft reboot. I think that that's kind of what it is. Similar wording. He just wants to get away from the wording of reboot because it's not like it's scrapping everything that was, which even like, even if you hear this word soft reboot, if you're not paying attention, it kind of sounds like everything scrapped, starting again new.
Mm. So uh, who do you think is going to be a part of this soft, or not the soft, the reset?
Hmm.
Are we talking like we're going to have Steve Rogers back in a different fashion?
I was gonna say Steve Rogers and Iron Man would be a couple of them.
I've heard the rumors about Iron Man, about Robert Downey Jr. I thought like kind of doing, or is that kind of the bait and switch thing they're talking about
I There's been the
for
rumor that he's
Doomsday?
gonna play multiple characters in Doomsday and Secret Wars. Um, I
But
don't
after
think,
that,
but after that, I think like Iron Man, Steve Rogers, Black Widow are all three pretty obvious ones.
so not ScarJo, or are you thinking ScarJo?
I think different actress. I think
Okay.
Yeah. I think if you reset the stories of any of them or all of them, you recast.
I think,
Because,
what about Yelena? Like, I would
yeah,
think Yelena would be the one that takes over
I think
permanently.
so too. So, like, I don't think Black Widow is super likely. I was just kind of listing off, hey, these are major characters who are dead
Mm,
or on the moon
yeah.
and old.
Vision,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, but we're getting the Vision show coming up next year. So are since we have Vision so recently, are they going to then be like, oh yeah, different actor?
No, I was thinking, well, reset. Like,
But yeah, it doesn't have to be a different actor.
yeah, I was thinking just he shifts more into a part of the team,
Yeah.
maybe, or something
hmm
like that. Oh wait,
I'm trying.
sorry, we probably can't. You want to keep going on this because I could probably keep thinking about him too. I look at your like 2 meg note here
Yeah.
text, and I'm thinking there's a lot to go through, but okay.
I so I actually flagged this one as if you'll see in the notes, it says future topic idea, which characters and how. So I think that's going to be something that we'll save for after Fantastic Four here,
Okay,
talking about it as a separate kind of a story or separate kind of a topic.
sounds good.
So I'm going to copy and paste that into our future topics section. Um, Next, Kevin Feige unfortunately has squashed the rumors of Miles Morales, saying that Miles Morales is off the table until the Spider-Verse saga trilogy is done.
Doesn't mean we won't see him though, right? Like it's
I
off the table
think
for Marvel fully, but not for maybe Sony.
right, but
I mean,
I think with a joint project, and I think with how successful the Spider-Verse films have been, I don't think Sony wants to undercut their own product. Like if they show a Miles Morales in live action and everybody absolutely loves it, all the focus is going to be pulled from the animated to when are we going to see live action Miles Morales next?
that's kind of fair. I'm just thinking brand new day. Oh yes, it
Oh,
is.
yes, it is. Do you know why I say that, by the way?
No, I've been thinking, you know what? I can look this up for one. Two, I could just wait till he tells me and asks me. Or three, I could ask you, but I chose option two instead.
Yeah.
So what the hell is it?
So, in the WWE, there's a wrestling
Oh
faction
God, it's a wrestling term.
called the New Day. And when they would come out, their music would hit and it'd be like, it's a new day. Oh, yes, it is. So, I have been running with that joke for Brand New Day. Oh, yes, it is. For a while now.
I thought maybe option four, you may have told me at one point, and I just completely don't remember. But
No,
uh,
no.
no, no. Um, what the heck were we talking about? Oh
Miles
yeah, I was
Morales.
saying, yeah, that everything, including the kitchen sink, has been seems like it's being tossed into this Sony Marvel Spider-Man Brand New Day. I
hmm
guess it is movie, right?
Yes.
So I was thinking it could show up there for sure, but I see what your point is, that it pulls away from the Spider-Verse, and that is a big money maker for them, so they're probably not going to risk that. So,
Yeah, I mean, Sony, like the Sony movie hits recently
mm,
have basically been the Spider-Verse film.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
like the
rest
amount
of
of
it,
money that
rest of them don't make a ton of money, and that's talking beyond just Spider-Man. Trying to think, I'm curious now. What are Sony's biggest films?
they do the Turtles. That's New Line Cinema, or was it way off on that?
I don't remember. Sony highest grossing movies by Sony Pictures. Spider-Man, Bond, but Bond's with Amazon now.
Mm, doesn't
Jumanji.
mean well, still counts though.
Yep. But yeah, besides Spider-Man and Venom, which by the way, Spider-Man and Venom films take up one, two, three, four, five, six, seven of Sony's highest grossing films are
Wow.
Spider-Man films.
Huh.
And then Jumanji, two and two Bond. So yeah, Sony's not gonna mess with their biggest moneymaker,
Right.
which is Spider-Man, to and accidentally shoot themselves in the foot,
Yeah.
which is rare for Sony.
Which they're learning. I
I don't
think
believe that. I think they just got lucky.
I think that it is a bit, as much as I would love to see some Miles Morales, I think also it's a bit crowded. It's a crowded time for characters, it feels
hmm
like. So to introduce somebody that's been so sought after,
Yeah.
maybe you wait just
hmm
wait a little bit. So
Yeah.
maybe they are learning,
Yeah. And Kevin
maybe not.
Feige had another quote around Brand New Day. Oh, yes, it is. The quote here, and I actually wrote down the whole quote, is we are seeing for the first time in the Tom Holland Spider-Man stories him being a proper Spider-Man. Him being himself or by himself, dealing with street level crime as opposed to world-ending events. So it sounds like they are really kind of pulling back on like this sounds like they're just doing a Spider-Man story, not something that's going to be so heavily tied into the multiverse saga or something like that.
Yeah, because I'm a little confused because I've heard, it started off as street level and then it's, oh no, there's cosmic aspects to it. And then no, it's going to be more street level, but there will be some cosmic aspect
Mhm.
to it. And so this
Yeah,
sounds
that
like we're leaving the cosmic out.
I think so.
So
Yeah, I
interesting.
mean, there was the rumor, and I think this probably came down to if Venom 3 had done great in theaters and people were like really excited for Null, Sony would have just been like, no, we're like, we'll we'll work with you, Marvel, but Null has to be the big bad villain. And then it becomes a multiversal cosmic kind of event. But because Venom 3 isn't in that top 10, and I don't think anywhere near that top 10 for Sony grossing films, highest grossing films. I think that Sony was like, okay, we're not going to push that anymore. I mean, they don't have any extended Spider Universe stuff planned at this point.
Yeah, it's. eh, I feel I'm trying to think like an analogy of this is like Back to the Future, which sounds crazy to go with, but hear me out. Marvel's like McFly, like the father McFly, right? And then Biff would be Sony, and like it's after the at the end of the movie when Biff is like, washing the car, like,
Yeah.
oh, I sorry, you're right, Mr.
Yep.
McFly, I'm sorry. And like it's just Sony going, yeah, you're right. That's probably not a good idea. We'll just do what you say. That's probably
Yeah.
best.
But unfortunately, that means that fairly soon Sony's going to sneak into some back room and steal an almanac and
Mm,
go do their own thing and make everybody else's life miserable.
is that going to be Miles Morales then?
Unfortunately, it feels like it could be. All right.
Oh, Back to the Future. You always come in
More
handy in many different ways.
mhm.
Hi, what
more
else?
Ke- more Kevin Feige. One last Kevin Feige bit here. He I believe he said that Jake Schreier has signed on to direct the X-Men film and that the script is underway. So all that speculation seems to be coming to fruition.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
That's a big task.
Hmm.
Pressure's on.
Yes. Yes, it is. But man, it, it's who I want to be directing it based off of how Thunderbolts went.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So moving away from the Kevin Feige quotes here, I'm actually gonna move this one news story down into our main topic because it deals with the Fantastic Four.
Fair
But
enough.
Ariane Moayed, actor played Agent P. Cleary in Spider-Man No Way Home from the Department of Defense. He is going to be back in Wonder Man as in a prominent role for whatever that means for that show.
Yeah, he was kind of like the not so terrible DOD person,
DODC?
DODC, compared to the woman. The woman was kind
Yeah.
of more of a hole, but this one was. Oh, was he kind of more conniving than I thought? I felt like he was kind of like on the edge. Like
Yeah.
it's been a while since I've seen that. So, interesting. Okay,
Hmm. Um,
how are the DODC and Wonder Man?
yeah, what's the fallout on the West Coast going to be that he has to go out there?
Right,
Or did
and
he get
they
like transferred out there because of something that happened in Spider-Man No Way Home or Miss Marvel, since he also shows up there.
I don't know. Like West Coast.
Hmm.
What did they do on the West Coast? What would damage control need?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we are post Snap and Blip, so but he was on the East Coast prior to that, so
But
I don't
things
know.
happen in New York. Like
Right.
then, you know,
Everything happens there. Is it something to do with Abomination and She-Hulk.
Oh, was she in the West Coast?
Yeah,
Was she?
yeah, she's in LA.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe. That makes some sense.
Yeah,
Or just something Wonder Man did, so they're I don't know.
right. But it kind of seems like Wonder Man hasn't done much
Right.
prior to getting the role of Wonder Man.
Was Iron Man out there?
Iron Man was out there,
Hmm.
but most of his stuff was like in Avengers Tower and then the Avengers Compound
Yeah.
more recently. So
Huh. All
we'll
right.
have to see what that looks like. Then Todd Harris was being interviewed around Eyes of Wakanda and was asked the question basically, or I'm not sure the precise question, but was asked about the possibility of a second season. And he said, "There's always room for more stories." And then something was cut out of the quote. "We definitely have more in the tank, and it's Marvel. There's always more." So
So
I
how
mean,
will it rate? That's kind of fine.
exactly. It's like if people watch it, sure, there might be another season.
Yep.
I suspect people aren't going to watch it because, unlike Spider-Man No Way Home or X-Men 97, I mean, Eyes of Wakanda is a Wakanda story without T'Challa, Black Panther.
Yeah. It's just little bit of history. It's like history. You kind
Yeah.
of have to be really into, I think it's going to be those that are really following along and all this
Yes.
stuff, right? So,
Yep.
yeah, I could see it not getting a second season, unfortunately. But hey, we also weren't really sure about Ironheart either. And I think we both were,
Yes.
you know,
Well, I'm
kind of wrong or
mhm.
not right.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, I think that both of us were just like, we just don't know because Marvel delayed it so long.
Yeah.
I don't think we went into it expecting it to be bad or good. We're just like, we got no clue. But Emmy nominations have come out.
Oh, I saw
I
that.
know, I know you're very excited and keep could like a close eye on those.
Sometimes, yep.
I'm just making stuff up at this point.
I sometimes do. Well, when it's like for Marvel stuff, I'm kind of curious, right?
Yeah. So What If was nominated for sound editing and a voiceover performance by Jeffrey Wright. And then Agatha All Along for costume, original music, and sound editing.
Interesting. How do they determine that? I mean, it's just nominations. So, but
Hmm.
I don't know. Trained ear, I'm sure, right? It's people that are paying attention more to the sound of things than anything.
Right.
Or I don't
Well,
know.
and obviously, Agatha All Along works so heavily with that Witch's Road song. And so I kind of
Hmm.
suspect that, I mean, that's obviously the original song, original music they're talking about. And because that plays so predominantly within the show, and they kind of vary it and work with it within
Patty
that, I think
LaPone's in it.
yeah, I think there's a lot of sound editing might get more of a call out in that show just because of that music work.
Hmm. True. Fair. I guess I was a little surprised with the what if, but
Hmm. Yeah,
what else?
that's it. That's the last
That's
piece
it.
of news. We're going to now go ahead and talk about Fantastic Four First Steps. There will be one thing we talk about briefly towards the end that may be a spoiler. If you haven't been watching the clips, Greg made the mistake of watching it,
Mm,
even after I warned people that it was going to be a spoiler. Um, so we'll talk about it briefly at the end, but we won't talk about it kind of as we go over the main plot so much. So, few things just I would say to know before going into the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is set in the world Earth 818. That is Jack Kirby's birthday, so August 18th, and that's why they
mm,
picked that.
okay.
Uh, it is set in a retro futuristic world. So by that I mean imagine what people thought the future would look like in the 1960s, and that's the style and aesthetic that they went for. The Fantastic Four, this is not going to be their origin story. They are established heroes at this point, and from like some synopsises, whatever it is. Uh,
No, I don't know what the word I was gonna say it, but now synopsis. Synopsis. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
We'll go
what's
with
the plural of
synopsis.
synopsis? Synopsi.
Synopsis. It sounds good. I mean, or
Yep.
I don't, yeah,
Synopsises.
that seems too long. Too many syllables in there.
Yeah.
It's like Mr.
Uh,
Snuffleupagus or something.
Snuffleupaguses.
Yeah, that's tough.
hmm
Uh,
but some of the synopsi have been saying that they, the Fantastic Four, have really helped kind of bring about an era of peace for Earth in general. And yeah, we dive into their lives, their celebrities. This ties into the comics where Reed very much pushes them to celebrity status to help people accept the thing because Ben obviously has the worst of the powers. Not in terms of the actual power, but in terms of
the
the
outcome
physical
of having the
change.
pu yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. Physical change.
Mhm. So they're they're celebrities. People know who they are. People love them when they see them on the streets. And then the Silver Surfer comes to herald Galactus. All of this, I'm assuming, is after they've had Franklin. And I'm
Yeah,
not
so
sh
this is where it's weird because usually they've been just giving us like stuff within the first 30 minutes, right?
Yes.
So things must really move fast. I'm just wondering, is that scene, is a whole dinner scene or the baby thing is understood or like where Ben and Johnny learn
Yep.
about Sue being pregnant? I'm just wondering, I mean, we're talking, is that in the first like 10 minutes of the movie? And
I think it may be.
because it just, again, I'm really hoping that we've only got hints of the first 30 minutes, right? And that's all they've really
Mhm.
gone through. And there's a ton out there left
Yep.
over. So that's my hope. Don't know that
Yes.
yet.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and but the Herald Silver Surfer shows up. Herald's Galactus is coming. They go back into space to try and deal with Galactus. And really, in the trailers and everything, that's kind of all we know.
but we definitely know it's like there seems to be two separate space trips,
Well,
maybe?
maybe
Well, two
it could,
ships.
right. Two
Okay,
ships could be two separate space trips in this film, or it could be a flashback to the events that gave them their powers.
right.
Who knows? We really don't at this point.
I, my guess.
Yes.
My guess is that I think that ship that the Thunderbolts see probably is Baby Franklin and maybe Herbie coming into the 616. And then the next thing that the way that the movie will end is that's they're now trying to find Franklin. Like they've somehow avoided the Galactus problem.
hmm
Galactus can't find him. And at the end, the Fantastic Four go to find Franklin in 616, and that's where they are.
Yeah. Now the interesting thing is you have to explain a time jump there because
Yes.
the Fantastic Four is set in the 60s.
But doesn't mean
So
it's not, it doesn't mean that that's, 60 to, years back,
it
right?
doesn't have to mean it could, but that would be a fairly divergent universe from ours if they were to say,
Yes,
yeah.
true, but there's no rules to that.
No, there
Um,
isn't. I think I'm thinking, or my thought process there is just, okay, keep it as simple as possible. Is that something they want to have to explain? I think it'd be easier to explain with quantum time travel
like time
across
dilation
yeah,
or
like time travel proper.
oh,
Whether or not it's fully intended, but they might be used the quantum realm, and I think it will have the full Fantastic Four on there. I think I was the proponent of the idea, and I still do like the idea that it's a Franklin Richards who Herbie has been keeping alive, like in the quantum realm or somewhere for a number of years, and you get an aged up Franklin Richards, so it's not just a baby anymore. And they come out the other side once Franklin figures out how to solve some problem for his father, and they're just in a whole different universe.
maybe total long shot. There was those rumors of Chris Evans being there. Maybe he hints, maybe he meets the Fantastic Four, tells Reed kind of where he's from. Reed finds out about the quantum realm, and then get through that way.
Could be.
Not
I
even probably likely, but it was just an idea.
mhm.
Just it feeds into the Chris Evans rumors, which
Yeah.
were 100% just rumors. But
And I
um,
think those were in particular rumors about him being Johnny Storm too, though
oh,
I
really?
yeah, but I think all of that, I mean, it's just so speculatory in nature that
Yeah. Yeah,
but
it's not really likely. More of a
mhm.
fun idea. But I
Yeah.
whatever it is, I still just don't want it to be anything that I've thought of. That's like my grand prize in all this, right? Like if I go in there and I'm like, yep, I didn't expect that to play out like that at all. And
Mhm.
that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I like. Because sometimes I kind of get a little disappointed when I've A, learned enough or watched enough of the clips to kind of piece things together, or B, it's something that we've guessed and it kind of happens to be right. Sometimes I'm like, oh, well, that kind of sucks, but cool at the same time. You're busy, you're looking really hard into something right now. I can see it. What are
I'm
you
just
researching?
um so I was thinking of the events we saw in Miss Marvel, and I was curious, like this is one of those like real big stretch type things,
Oh, Miss
but
Marvel. Nice.
but we had the event and we had the crashed Kree ship with the Bengal that
Yeah.
and we had the events of no, I guess it'd be the events of Shang-Chi would probably be hmm, a better spot to look. Those rings were signaling something. And but those
Oh,
have been around for ages. So whatever they were signaling would have to have been around for ages. And it doesn't make sense. Like the thought was always like, oh, could it be Galactus? But doesn't seem likely
right.
that it would tie into anything. Like it wouldn't be a signal that somehow had been planted in this universe to allow anybody to home in on it or something like that from any universe out there. That doesn't seem too likely. So I think that was just a rabbit hole I went down for no good reason.
Okay. Yeah, it's like because Galactus doesn't get signaled so much, right? It's more of the
Yeah.
Silver Surfer just finding what. So
Yeah.
that's a whole other that's a whole other topic. What
Hmm.
that those Bengals are doing, I guess.
Are the rings, yeah.
The rings.
Then I I mean kind of what I think we talked about with the plot. I think that's first 30 minutes and that still leaves basically an hour and a half of the film left, a little bit less than that because of credits. Uh but that's a lot of film still out there, and that kind of begs the question, like what is the rest of the how is the rest of the film going to work? Is it going or maybe it begs the question, maybe the question I should just ask, do we think the Fantastic Four win?
I don't I don't think they will. I think
Mhm.
they lose. Well,
Do
I
you
think they
think
lose
the,
their planet.
yeah, you think the Earth gets destroyed?
Yeah, that's otherwise. Why would they stay on 616?
Right. Why would they? Well, I
Unless
actually
it's
think they,
technologically, to Reed's interest, and he wants.
I think they actually do save their world, but it's at some cost. It's maybe at the cost of almost like disabling Galactus. They disable Galactus, and then we get a post-credit scene, and we'll talk about post-credit scenes, or end of film scene where we see somebody coming in to scavenge Galactus and basically use Galactus as a power source, and now Reed has to find a way to stop whoever is trying to use Galactus. Like he understands the implications of what using Galactus as a power source could mean.
So you're thinking that we don't see Doom, but you're hinting at Doom at that point?
Right. Yeah. Hinting at Doom. Um, we'll talk, like I said, we'll talk about the end credit scenes here in a little bit. Um, but I will just say that the Russos did direct one of the two. So one of the two was filmed during the Doomsday filming.
That's right. Okay. I don't know what you fill in. I mean, it's a good idea. I don't,
Mhm.
is it just going to be more about Galactus and like just them trying to defeat Galactus and deal with the Silver Surfer and that's just is what it is? Or are
Mhm.
we,
Well,
because I mean, you got at the beginning, you have a pregnancy happen. So that, are
Yep.
they going to breeze through 9 months and then the baby is probably it's
I mean,
6 to 12 months old, it looks like in the video,
yeah, I would say about
maybe.
6 months.
Yeah. So skip through get through that. Galactus, the Silver Surfer comes,
Right.
Galactus, and then are they going to spend the time? You know, I mean, honestly, if it's about family,
Hmm.
there, I think there'll be we can't forget about that aspect of it too. Like,
Yes.
there's going to be some, I'm assuming some drama within the family with probably
Hmm.
between Sue and Reed, right?
Right.
We'll get things kind of.
Reed's
uh,
going to be obsessed with the idea of stopping Galactus, and they're also a new family. And
right,
so it's going to be that struggle of Sue trying to kind of keep him like engaged in family
right.
at that
Trying to
point.
balance out. He's like, I need you as a father. Well, we also have this worldly problem happening, which, I mean, or not worldly problem, but he's got this obsession, right, that
Right.
he's
This
dealing
world-ending
with.
problem that he knows it's going to come due at some point in
Right.
time.
So I think that will unwind a lot to fill
Mhm.
in the time. But
I
um,
mean, so it does make me think of the Jonathan Hickman Fantastic Four run, where it kind of kicks off with Reed building this dimensional
Portal.
portal, but also kind of dimensional indexing system where it
Oh,
allows him to like look into other universes and see like how did they deal with this problem. So it could be after their initial interaction with Galactus, he creates kind of this portal and he gets obsessed with the idea of looking into these other universes to see if they've had to deal with Galactus, and that might be how he finds like 616, where it's like there's no Fantastic Four there. There's no Galactus there. And so it could be a situation where they don't lose their Earth, but the solution to defeat Galactus and keep him away from their planet is to leave.
right.
Something like that.
Because it's, oh, we can't talk about that part
No,
yet.
not yet.
But it perfectly ties in right there.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that.
Hmm.
So
And
let's say that, yeah, it's better if they leave. So they take on the Silver Surfer. They seemingly have defeated or warded off the Silver Surfer.
yep,
They know there's still ramifications of Galactus coming, but there's now this time in between. So we have the drama, we'll just
yep,
call it that, between within the family and Reed, and yes, he's building this thing and he's looking for more understanding and he's looking for ways to solve problems. So, and then we have the Galactus part come through,
yep.
right? There is some space scenes out there that
So yeah.
probably in the end, which would suck because I don't really want to see the end in the credits,
No, I
but
don't think those are the end because
not in the
the
credits, sorry, the trailers.
yeah, from the trailer though, we know that the Fantastic Four like go up into space to deal with Galactus. They seem to go to Galactus's ship that Galactus travels in. So I still think all the space scenes we've seen are the first 30 minutes as well.
Hmm. Do you think Galactus gives them time?
I did. I think to put it in kind of the terms of, well, Galactus is 14 billion years old, or Galactus is almost basically an eternal being
Yeah,
of
he's been around
sorts.
almost as long as the universe,
Yeah.
seems like.
So the Herald of Galactus might show up, and Galactus might not come for another 2 years. Because what's 2 years of time for Galactus when he's been around 14 billion? Like that's just
Yeah.
a tiny blip of time. It's the same thing in like when I play Dungeons and Dragons. Elves live to be 700. Humans live to be maybe 70 if they live a long time. So elves don't understand the concept or find it really weird why humans are running around doing stuff as fast as they can, as much as they can, when an elf might spend 30 years just studying poetry from some archaic age because they have that lifespan to do it. So I think I think we're going to see and understand the magnitude of how long Galactus has been alive.
Hmm. Yeah. Now, it made me start thinking about there's a character. We didn't have this in the news. Was that part of your thing you want to wait on?
Um,
Uh Milkovich.
no, we can talk about that here
Okay.
because
So
Jackman has come out and said it.
yeah, that that one guy, forget his name.
Yep, Jerry
He
Malkovich.
Jerry Malkovich. Yeah, he's not in the movie anymore. So they cut him.
Theoretically,
And
he's not in the movie anymore.
right, which is
I don't trust
crazy.
any, I don't trust anybody. I'm assuming that there was a subplot. Maybe they were using John Malkovich, um, and I forget Red Ghost, I believe is the character that everybody assumes that he was going to be. I think there was a plot maybe in the first half of the movie where they were having to deal with this other earthly villain who was getting in the way. And when it came to editing and putting the story together, Feige and Shackman, I'm sure it was a combination of the two of them, were just like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't help drive the plot we want forward.
Okay. It's just you don't really cut John Milkovich out of a movie.
You don't.
That's that's the thing. I'm like, oh wow. Like, I don't know. It just
I'm
seems
not,
like that'd be not you don't cut
yeah.
him. I know it wasn't you personally, but I'm saying like
Oh no, I
I
cut him
was
out of every movie. Like, I fast forward through any scene that he's in any movie, and it makes for some really weird movies.
so, um I yeah, it was just shocking news to me, I think.
Yeah, it was big. And I think it says one that he wasn't as major a character that we maybe thought he was going to be.
Yeah, maybe.
But the other announced actors, Natasha Lyonne and Paul Walter Hauser, are both still confirmed to be in it.
I didn't hear about Natasha Lyonne still being in it. I haven't heard any
Yes.
follow up on that, but I did see the images
Yes.
of Paul Walter Hauser. So there was something else that was we were talking about Galactus, time.
Mhm.
I f
I was going to mention too, there have been the rumors of Council of Reed.
yeah,
And there's been the
which
rumor that Ian Griffold was like on set for Fantastic Four. They tried to hide somebody on the
oh, that's
set,
right. Yeah, that's right.
and New Rock Stars did a whole video about how they broke it down and like
Compare
our
chins
yeah,
and
well,
facial hair.
facial hair, foot size. I have no idea. Social media posts, stuff like that, to be like,
Oh,
we're fairly confident it's Ian Griffold,
yeah.
which does kind of lend the idea to Reed creating this portal, and we could get a council of Reeds,
hmm Which
or
I
at
think
least
would be a kind of I think I think the movie would benefit from that. I like the idea of
mhm,
it. I like the Council of Reed's idea. I think it creates more tension. I think it creates more makes Reed more interesting.
mhm. It
And I like
it
the
gives
Hickman run, of
his
course.
it gives his character such a strong reason. Like it's this really fascinating new thing, and it's this thing that he's been asked to join. So it really does create this larger draw to stay away from his family
hmm
and
Right.
to kind of separate himself, which I like.
Yeah.
It's it feels less like, man, you're a bad father.
Yeah. It feels well, it's almost addictive to him like this.
Yes.
His work is so addictive and when he's got this counsel that he, can
It's
mentally match, intellectually
mhm.
match up against somebody else
Yeah.
himself, it's something he craves probably so much.
Yeah.
And so he does not avoid his family, but it's
it
more interesting to
cons
him.
it
Yeah.
consumes his time. And one of the things from the Hickman run is like the all of the Reeds in the Council of Reed, they have lost their families.
hmm
And so it's really he's placing himself in this feedback loop of, well, your family's holding you back, your family's not that important. And now and he's hearing it from somebody who he respects as being brilliant because he's hearing it from himself.
Yeah, and I don't think it's not necessarily that they're holding you back. It's more of a like to have the family, you're not going to be able to fulfill what you're trying to do. Like there
Right.
are people in the way. They're
Yes.
not. So I don't know. It's, I think adding that in would be really interesting. And again, if we're trying to fill at this timeline here of what's going on, because that seems to be
Hmm.
something we're kind of struggling with as far as how we get to an hour, was it hour and 55 minutes was the
Yep.
runtime?
Yep.
So I think, yeah, I think that that would be a really interesting aspect to it. And then the finale of it all is really,
He makes the decision that no, my family's more important, and I'm gonna have to find a way to save my planet and my family. I can't
so
just abandon.
right. And so one of the reads must understand something of the time travel or like
Right.
getting to a different like a different universal, like
Hmm.
jumping to a different universe. So and how to get there and how to do that. So I'm guessing maybe that's what
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah. I I kind of feel like it might actually just be that simple in terms of like the solution is we leave this universe.
Right. Because if they leave, can we talk about this yet?
Let's hop in.
Not yet.
Yeah, we're gonna talk spoilers for about 5 minutes here, and then we'll be back with post credits. For those of you who want to avoid spoilers, 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 spoilers. You have been warned. Spoilers. All right, Greg, take us away into spoilers.
All right. And real clear, we don't know what the post-credit scenes are, but
Right.
we will be talking about what we think the post-credit scenes are. Okay. So, but as far
And this
as
was from
the
a trailer, or a teaser clip thing,
yeah, which I
which I
was
was
super
like,
mad
come on,
about.
guys. Yeah,
So mad about it. So Galactus is looking for Franklin, right? That's
not
what she said.
not necessarily.
Okay.
Galactus, they they go to negotiate with Galactus, and Galactus asks for Franklin.
Okay.
So it's it could just be that Earth is on the menu next, no matter what, or was just kind of on the list, but because of Franklin's insane power, that just Franklin would satiate Galactus for an extended period of time and Earth could be saved.
Is it? So that's talking about eating a baby. So I'm
Yes.
guessing they don't do that.
I mean, like we literally see the interview where they're apparently headed back into space. So I guess yeah, it would seem like they're headed back into space maybe another time, a third time.
Well, I'm
Uh,
saying like they Galactus isn't going to eat a baby. It could be that he wants to remove the child before he eats the planet.
it's possible. So Galactus certainly could eat a baby.
I mean, easily physically he could eat a baby. However,
Emotionally, he could eat a baby too. He
emotionally he
does,
could eat it. Yeah.
yeah. Spiritually, he might have no. Yeah, I don't see actually any way where Galactus would have any qualms about eating a baby.
Right. But this baby, with the power that it has, and if he understands and recognizes that power,
But
he maybe can't or won't eat it.
I
And he wants to maybe save it because it's not a threat to him. Or do you think it's a threat to him, or do you think
Uh,
it's more of like
no,
he wants to have it?
I think it's
He
so
wants a
Galact
friend.
no, not a friend,
He
not a
wants to be a
threat.
father.
It's the idea of, I mean, to borrow from the MCU, like Tony creates a tiny little arc reactor for his chest, and that arc reactor has insane amounts of power in it. Yet the Earth still has power plants and stuff like that.
Well, it's like it's a self-sustaining power. That's the
Right,
idea, right? It's
right,
constantly giving
right.
out power.
Yeah. And so, like, that little thing is a ton of power. Could Tony hook himself up to, like, the power grid and pay thousands of dollars every month in an electrical bill to keep himself powered? Sure. But Galactus is this creature that hungers and looks to satiate his hunger, and that's why he has to go around devouring planets. Franklin might be the equivalent of eating the arc reactor, which would be enough power, be more power than the rest of Earth has. And so Galactus might just look in and go like, "That's a lot of power. That sounds great. Give me that lot of power, and I won't be hungry for another 200 years."
Which to him is like no time. So it's
It's
like a
like no,
buffet. It's like he went to the Tokyo 23 buffet or the Great Moon buffet or whatever
buffet you
Chinese
have near
buffet
you.
you want to, you have, yeah, hibachi grill, whatever,
Hmm.
fills up, you
Yep.
know,
And then, yeah, if for him, time wise, it would be like, okay, that's lunch. In 200 years, it's going to be dinner time.
yeah. But
But
man, it
for
was a
the,
solid lunch.
right,
It
it
was,
was a great lunch. But for the rest of humanity, it's like, man, you just bought us ages. Like, this is not, it's not our problem. It's not our kids' problem. It's not like, this is a problem that several generations down the line, like, we can always be working on this. We can figure this out in 200 years.
oh, would Reed be that guy?
Oh, no, that's why he said it was too much.
Yeah.
Like Galactus asked for too much. But for Galactus, absolutely, he'd just look at it and go, "Ooh, lots of power.
Oh
Sounds
yeah.
great." Because Galactus is more of a force of nature than a character, always. Galactus must consume.
Maybe he wants him as his, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I
I
don't know.
think I
I
think
think
it's as
it's
simple as he wants to eat Galactus. Or not wants to eat Galactus. Yeah, Franklin wants to eat Galactus. No, I think it's as
Galactus
simple.
wants to eat himself.
Yeah, as Galactus wants to eat Franklin because that's the insane amount of power that Franklin has.
Does the Watcher know who Galactus is? Probably does, right?
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if I'm still trying to go along with my theory of like he's trying to keep the baby for himself because he understands the role of which maybe the Watcher has explained to Galactus that this child is going to be incredibly important.
I and I would
It's a
say
long, long shot, but I'm just trying to.
yeah, and I would say like as counter argument to that is comic book Galactus don't care. Like comic book Galactus doesn't really care about anything except where he gets his next meal.
All right. We'll see if Marvel will go with the eating baby route or
I mean,
the befriending baby route.
yeah, I
So
think that clip definitely implies the eating baby. All right,
this is
so
this
that's
is what I want then our caption to be for this video. Does Marvel eat babies? That's what I want.
no, because we're in the spoiler section, Greg.
Ugh.
All right,
Yeah,
so
but it's vague enough. It's vague.
out of spoilers. So spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. You have been unwarned. We're out of spoilers.
You've forgotten all the last 5 minutes if you were listening.
Yep. End credit scenes. Two end credit scenes. Russo brothers directed one of them. Another one is supposed to be a little bit more lighthearted and fun.
Ooh.
So that does to me make me think Earth isn't destroyed in that universe.
Maybe I'm thinking that if it's gonna be lighthearted, ooh, I don't know.
Okay, it says lighter one, and one setting up Doomsday is the official like wording off of the rumor, which has basically been confirmed at this point because they confirmed that the Russo brothers directed the second one. So,
I'm 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 trying to think of what lightheartedness they would like. Would it be something between Johnny and Ben? Like
right.
something like that? Is it gonna be
Is it going to be
um
baby Franklin doing some cute stuff
yeah, right?
and
And
like creating a little universe or something in his hand as a baby, and Sue and Reed looking down at him, just going, "Oh, that's so cute."
yeah,
And then it snuffs out, and you realize,
he just
as the
killed an
audience, that he just destroyed a universe that he had created, likely full of
uh
life.
yeah.
Okay, that's probably not
No.
happening, but it, I think
Ah.
I think there's a decent chance it's going to be something cute with the baby.
Or do we get a second baby?
Yeah,
Do they
second
really have
baby.
time though? I mean, they really have time to is re if we're all that we've been talking about, with the world ending events, the Reed and Sue probably,
But it can
having
be
a little bit of marital
X.
problems. Are they is it
But and
angry sex?
I was gonna say, but it can be end credit scene can be 6 months later,
Sure.
9 months later, and they could be like, "Oh, we're expecting again," and Johnny could make some uh comment like that. Yeah, great. Last time you guys had a kid, a big
Right.
space giant decided it wanted to eat the world.
Which
Wonder
it
what's
did.
gonna happen.
Or
Yeah,
maybe it did.
right. I wonder what's gonna happen this time.
Yeah, right. Just poking fun at millions of people dying.
Yeah.
I
That's
love the dark
again, –
humor approach that we have with this. It's all just dark,
again,
dark humor.
this is why I don't think the world is destroyed.
All right,
So,
well,
yeah. So that's kind of my guess is I like the idea that they introduced, or the idea that, oh, they're expecting again. And Johnny makes some wisecrack with it. And then Ben just comes in and goes like, "No, don't worry about it. You guys will be great.
it's
You made it through
clobbering time.
you made it through one child already. If you can make
Uh,
it through that, you'll be fine." Something like that.
um,
Other ideas? They're eating shawarma? No.
I thought about the shawarma thing. Like they end up in like New York, like
Mhm.
616 New York, and they're like, oh, I'm starving. And they just happen to be in front of the shawarma place.
Mhm. I I'm slightly disappointed that with the goofier, I mean, both Thunderbolts post-credit scenes definitely had humor in
Yeah.
them. I'm a little disappointed that the Red Guardian scene with the Wheaties box, which was fun. I'm disappointed that he wasn't like trying to convince them that since they're the Avengers now, they all have to go eat shawarma together.
Right. It seemed like a really missed opportunity.
Hmm. So I don't want to. That was the right spot for it. This is not.
Yeah. Agreed. I think more like the non Matt Shackman.
Right, the second one.
Yeah. I
Doom.
think it's gonna be Doom something.
Hmm.
So whether it's going along with what you were saying, how they somehow freeze and like disable Galactus, and then Doom maybe
Doom picks him
wants to
up
use
to,
them. Yeah.
yeah, as a power source to kind of be able to pull parts of universes out to create his battle world or something
Or
like
if
that.
yeah, or if it's I don't know, Victor and Reed meet somehow.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
or Victor meets up with I don't know, is it maybe Doom is on that other ship and the Thunderbolts meet
Doom.
Tony, what looks to be
Yeah.
Tony, and this is kind of it seems like it's
Mhm.
Tony's back, but
I
not
don't
the real
think you
Tony.
do. I don't think you do a Thunderbolts.
You would do a Thunderbolts one in
Right.
a Fantastic Four, so
Yeah.
that
Like
makes
the
sense.
post-credit scene would be fantastic for something with Doom or just Doom.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be more just Doom.
Hmm.
I think that makes more sense. And he just, I don't know. I think it's gonna be pretty quick and simple of we see
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. in
Yeah.
some shape or form.
Hmm. Yeah. Mask on, mask off.
I mean,
I
depends
want
on where
to.
he is in his plan. Like,
Yeah.
is this where we get? I kind of think that they are going to do the bait and switch where it's, hey, really, people really think this is Tony, like a different Tony,
Hmm.
and they want him to be Tony. So is it he's already figured that out as Doom's already figured that out. So we're gonna see him right away as that. And so we see him in an Iron Man suit, and Doom's already ahead of the game, and we don't obviously know this yet, but we see him in an Iron Man suit. Doom's playing the role of Iron Man
Hmm.
kind of thing. Um, and maybe he lands in New York or something like that.
Yeah. I'm I'm really hesitant to say that they're going to use do the like Doom has figured it out that he looks like Iron Man from 616 and he's going to play into that. I think it's going to I think Doom is going to figure that out at some point in time, but it'll be in Doomsday and it will be a character or two. It might even be Secret Wars, really. Before you have somebody kind of interact with him and basically be like, "Nah, you're Tony Stark. Like you're a good guy." And so actually that would make more sense in Doomsday. That somebody's like, "No, you're a good guy." And then Doom just uses people assuming that he's a good guy for his advantage. But I don't think he'll play into it as like pretending to be Tony Stark
Hmm. Okay.
because
I think,
I think Marvel wants to keep obviously they're going to play with it
yeah,
with the idea of the two it's the same actor. They're going to play around with that idea, but I don't think they're going to play into it so much to be like, "Oh yeah, he's pretending that he's Tony Stark." That feels like a bit much.
yeah. I don't know. I just, I think it's, we'll see. we'll see Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
That's my best,
I think
safest
that's
guess.
mhm.
Safest guess right there.
Yeah, I think it's a very safe guess that we see RDJ um maybe interacting with Reed. Maybe, I mean, this had been my theory at one point in time as they were looking, excuse me, to pivot to Doctor Doom. And apparently, so this came out in one of the articles recently that they have been looking to pivot to Doctor Doom before Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania came out. So they were already looking to pivot to that. So I had the theory a while back, like you could deal with the Council of Kangs at the beginning of Doomsday with Doom just blasting and destroying everybody in the Council of Kang. Well, could you put that into a post-credit scene here where Doom just shows up at the Council of Reeds? This Reed from Earth 818 has already, or is it 848? No, it's 818. I don't remember.
Uh,
Yeah, but this the Reed we've seen in this film has already left the council because he's made the decision to stay with his family. And so we see Doom basically finding what he sees as the biggest threat to himself and taking it out.
so what if it's Robert Downey Jr.'s and the other Reed that we've talked about, the other actor?
Ian Griffith.
Yeah. And like, yeah, he takes out all the Council of Reeds. Maybe it's like little
Hmm.
cameo action between those two actors,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
and then him killing off that Reed,
Yeah, I mean that could even be the Reed who
which,
is the weak link because in the Hickman run of the comics, one the Celestials get to one of the Reeds and attack the Council of Reeds.
right.
And so is it instead of the Celestials getting to one of the Reeds, it's Doom gets to one of the Reeds and he attacks because he
Yeah.
knows that Reed Richards across the multiverse, that's the biggest threat to his plan.
And that's also, I mean, like, didn't they, wasn't it Robert Downey Jr. and somebody else that they in that photo? So, right? In the
Um,
leaked photo, I guess not leaked, but it was a photo that got released and it was they kind of covered up the face of the one,
the
but it was Robert
Instagram.
Downey. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that was Robert Downey.
yeah, it was RDJ, right? And
No, that was Pedro.
oh, was it
And
Pedro?
the assumption was that it wasn't RDJ in there
Right. Oh, you're right.
because
You're right.
it was a there was a beer in front of him.
Right.
And RDJ is doesn't drink, doesn't I mean, if you
Well,
know his
Bureau.
history,
You could drink
yeah,
Bureau.
yeah. But the thought was that was tied into the Ian Gruffeld
Yeah. Yeah.
but I do think, yeah, like Ian Gruffuld's Reed being the weak link in a Council of Reeds setting, I think that could
Hmm.
be interesting.
Yeah.
Or even if it isn't like a okay, Doom comes in and wipes out a Council of Reeds, if it's just Doom gets to Ian Gruffuld's Reed and gets the information from him that oh, there's a Reed Richards out there somewhere who knows how to travel between universes and had to because of his son and gets some of that information. Now that puts Franklin and this Fantastic Four family like directly in the bullseye, like crosshairs of Doom.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
could see any of those sort of things.
Yeah.
Um, do we think any cameos in this?
Um,
But not including post-credit scene?
um, no, I just don't, I don't really feel it. I don't,
No, I'm with you. I think that they like Deadpool and Wolverine makes sense for that. They know they have Doomsday coming up. They know they have Secret Wars coming up. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're cast in Secret Wars by this point in time.
hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
that's how many
Oh,
people I
I did
expect to
get
be
the
in there.
call. Yeah, I got the
Awesome,
call.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll let them know. Finally gave them your real phone number.
I love how you're in control of my fate.
Oh
Great.
yeah. Um, But I think that they intentionally set this in a different universe so that it's not going to be cameo heavy.
Hmm.
And even if Ian Gruffold is in there, I don't think it's going to be at cameo level. Because like Chris Evans, for example, in Deadpool and Wolverine, that was a cameo.
Right.
It was short, but Daphne Keene, Jennifer Garner, Wesley Snipes, Channing Tatum, people refer to those as cameos. That's not a cameo. They're supporting characters in that film.
Right.
They're in there way too long and are way too integral to the plot.
I'd
So,
agree.
so if Ian Gruffle is in the movie, he's going to be more important
Hmm.
to it. Um, I guess Natasha Lyonne, do we have an idea who she may be playing?
Uh, I I'm just assuming it's Ben Grimm's
Alicia Masters.
Masters. Yeah. That's
That's my guess as well.
it just makes the most sense, I guess.
Yep, it really does.
Not Birdie, please
Oh,
and thank you.
I would say there's 100% chance it's not Birdie.
Good.
All right, but we'll have all the answers on Thursday, Greg. Are you looking forward to this film? On a scale of 1 to 11, what's your excitement level?
Uh, I think I'm at an 11 for sure at this point. I just because I've been waiting for this for a long time.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I really hope I walk out of that theater just
Crying tears of joy and
cry.
happiness
Yes, just the
and
tears are flowing.
shock too, because Galactus eventually does eat the baby.
Yes. I'm gonna get out there and be like, dang it, I was wrong. Baby eater. Yeah, I'll be just tears of joy coming down. I'll wipe my nose on your shirt and
I
all
mean, that
that.
happens
So
anyways.
it does. I mean, Thunderbolts was a mess. So
Hmm.
my wife is.
Yeah.
I think my wife's. Yeah, she's coming with. Our wives are coming
Yes.
with on this, right?
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm at an 11 on this one as well. I've been looking forward to this for ages. I've loved the trailers for this, and I love that this feels so different from everything else.
Yep. And
And
everything has been stacking up better and better
yeah,
as in the last year with the releases from
mhm.
Marvel. So
Yeah. So with that, we will be back next week for our review and thoughts on that. I will for sure have a review video up, I would think on, if not Thursday night, on Friday morning for sure. I'll have a review up then on the 10-Minute Marvel YouTube channel. And let us know, what do you think the end credit scenes are going to be? Greg, you have a few spots you can help or you can drop messages for that. Plus, then, Greg gave a few ways you could help support the podcast at the beginning. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/nerdologists. The funds go to help improve the quality of this podcast, as well as the Lonesome Meeples YouTube channel, the 10-Minute Marvel YouTube channel, and the nerdologists.com website. But again, thank you so much for listening, and that we'll see you next time.
fantastic. Bam.